Wow, welcome to another UFC update reaction podcast number 4. Today is February 6th, 2021. And wow, what a main event that we just came off just now. I mean, Alistair Overeem just got knocked out by Alexander Volkov. There goes Alistair Overeem's dream. 40 years old. And yeah, he said this was his last run for the world heavyweight title. Volkov is just too strong. And looks like Volkov will be going for the heavyweight title. He might have to beat one more person, but man, this guy, the heavyweight division is stacked. John Jones, can he beat these guys? I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm going to go over the card that just happened, and then we're going to go over some news that happened over the past few days. So let's talk about the preliminary card first. And very slow night, but ended very strong. But there's a guy named O'Day Osborne from Jamaica. Basically, I don't even remember what happened. He knocked someone out in the first round, and then he said he's ready to fight next week. So that was pretty surprising. And another one of the preliminary card, there was some kind of boring fights, like some Russian guy named Timur Valiev just kind of took some guy to the ground for a long time. He won by unanimous decision, but it was pretty boring. Another fight that happened, we skip a few fights because they were kind of just decisions, and Devontae Smith versus Justin James in the featured preliminary card. He won by TKO because the guy, James, he couldn't open his eye, so they just stopped the fight. So let's go to the main card. Beneil Dariush won by split decision against Diego Ferreira. These two are the top lightweights, right? And Dariush, he barely won, but he was pretty upset that Ferreira and him didn't get to fight a top 5 contender. Because, they are very strong lightweights. They're on 5 to 6 fight win streaks, and they are not fighting for the top 5. They're pretty upset over that. Beneil Dariush was pretty upset about that, but he's 6 fight win streak and doing well. Hopefully they give him a good opponent next time. I'd like to see him face someone like maybe Tony Ferguson or, I don't know, like maybe Rafael dos Anjos or something. All right, let's move up the card even more. There was this guy named Manel Kape. He debuted from Thailand, and people expected a lot from him, but he was very gun shy. He didn't take any shots. So the guy, one of the veterans, Pantoja, a flyweight, took him won by decision. Kind of a boring fight as well. Another fight, Michael Johnson, Clay Guida. Clay Guida is 39 years old. He used to be a very good fighter. He won by unanimous decision against the guy Michael Johnson, who is now 20 wins and 17 losses. He said that he could get cut if he didn't win this match, and he didn't win. So it looks like there's a chance he'll be cut, but people love this guy. So he actually won a fight against Dustin Poirier a number of years ago, but he hasn't performed well. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, and he has only won 4 of his last 13 fights. So I don't know if the UFC should keep him. So let's get to the co-main event. Corey Sandhagen versus a veteran, Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar, 39 years old as well. Today is this fight card is the event for the ages. Literally, these people are 39, 40 years old. He looks good. Frankie Edgar, he wanted to win the fight. He's rank 4. He wanted to be he wanted another shot at the title, but Corey Sandhagen, a very good fighting record, basically did a flying knee and knocked him out in 30 seconds, under 30 seconds. So that guy's 14-2. And yeah, he's ready. He cut a promo afterwards saying he's going to be watching Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling in March, the March pay-per-view, and whoever wins that, he wants a shot at the title. And I think he should get it. There's another guy named TJ Dillashaw who was suspended a year ago, and that's due to drugs or something. Well, that suspension has passed, so he's eligible for a title shot. So I think Sandhagen should fight for the title because he did such an amazing job. And finally, the main event, Alexander Volkov shattered Alistair Overeem's dreams of getting another title shot. Volkov is you can't fight this. He's very tough. He did a lot of 1-2 shots, took out Overeem. Overeem's dreams are over. Very slow night, but the last 2 fights were amazing, so that was really good. So I haven't watched the press conference. Literally, the show just ended, so I'm gonna upload this and yeah, let me know what you think. Please leave likes, please leave comments, and we'll see what happens. Let's go over some little bit of news. And yeah, Conor McGregor made an Instagram post basically summarizing his fight that happened a week ago against Dustin Poirier. He felt like he went on a boxing. He tried to do more boxing than MMA, and he was surprised that Dustin Poirier kicked his legs a lot. So he didn't expect that from Dustin, but yeah, that really threw him off. And as soon as his leg was really hurt, Dustin basically smelled blood. You can see it in his eyes during the fight. And as soon as he saw that Conor was hurt, he just unloaded on a ton of punches, knocking Conor McGregor out for the first time in his career. Conor McGregor is keen on getting a third match against Dustin Poirier, completing the trilogy. That should be interesting, and it would make a lot of money. So, but I don't know, man. Like, some people are skeptical that because we don't know what's going on with Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know, he could be coming back for one more fight, but at the end of the day, he's only 32 years old and he wants to retire at 30. I know, but he already said he's retired. We don't know if he's going to come back or not. Yet he's still the champion. He hasn't released any statements since the Dana White's meeting, so we don't know what's going on with that. So if Conor McGregor fights Dustin Poirier again, some people suspect it might be for the title, but many people think Conor's been handed a silver spoon in his career because he's Conor McGregor, one of the biggest draws in MMA history. So Justin Gaethje, the number 2 lightweight contender, said if Conor McGregor gets a title shot after that TKO, he's going to consider not fighting for the UFC again. I mean, he just said that because that would piss him off. He always hated the politics surrounding the MMA and the UFC community. So we'll see what happens with that. And I think one more piece of news here is Cowboy Donald Cerrone will be fighting Diego Sanchez on May 8th. Diego Sanchez is also a veteran. He's 39 years old as well. And he released a tweet saying that he's going to fight only one more time. And, you know, Conor McGregor last year was campaigning to fight this guy, but Dana White didn't feel like Diego Sanchez was a good opponent for him because he was unranked and, you know, 39 years old, 38 at the time, and on the decline. So Dana felt like Conor was trying to go for an easy fight, but Conor defended himself, saying that it wasn't an easy fight. It was just a journey. It was a part of a bunch of fights he was going to do in 2020. But Sanchez wanted to fight Conor. I think Conor wanted to help Sanchez out too. I mean, if whoever gets to fight Conor gets a big paycheck, like $1 million, and Sanchez has paid his dues. He's won a lot and also lost a lot in his career. So I think Conor kind of wanted him to go out with a bang, with a big fight. And yeah, most likely Conor would take Sanchez out if that fight were to happen. But Diego Sanchez versus Cowboy Cerrone is a good fight to make. Cowboy lost 4 fights and then had a no contest. So he hasn't won in his last 5 fights. And he's considered to be a veteran, 37 years old. Has had a lot of octagon time as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It should be a fight for the Oldies. Next week, UFC 258, it'll be Kamaru Usman, undefeated in the UFC, 12 fights. He's going to be fighting his former teammate Gilbert Burns in the main event for the welterweight title. I mean, if Usman wins, it would be fantastic. A lot of the commentators are saying Gilbert Burns is his toughest opponent, and he's been doing some crazy fights leading up to this bout, so people are expecting a lot from that. But many fans are disappointed with this card because there aren't any great fights to look forward to. Like UFC 259, there are 3 title fights, including Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion, going up 1 division to go for the light heavyweight title. Jan Blachowicz. That's UFC 259 in March. But UFC 258 next week, the main event I'm interested. I want to see what happens. Always like it when someone's on a winning streak. So I hope Kamaru Usman wins it. And there's one more fight on the preliminary featured card. It's Bobby Green versus another veteran, Jim Miller, who is 37 years old, has fought like maybe third longest octagon time in the history of UFC. So that's a pretty good fight too. That would be a very good lightweight bout. But other than that, I mean, there are a bunch of other fights that I don't really know too much about. I mean, Miranda Maverick, a woman, one of the females who's been creating a buzz recently, will be fighting next week in the early preliminary card. That should be good too. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a few days. Thanks for listening. Please drop a like, spread the word, and we're gonna have more analysis, more reaction. And yeah, what a crazy night, man. Overeem getting knocked out. I'll give my thoughts on the press conference after I get through it, but I want to get this out as early as possible. So peace. Later.